landlord equals 80 in 8 letters. That's every single landlord on planet Earth. No one says the word landlord without glorifying Jesus equals 888. And further glories on that word landlord, the first and last letters are L and D, which makes 16, a double of 8. And the center 2 letters are D and L, which are 16, a double of 8. So it is bookended with 16 equals double 8, and at the center, or core, it's 16 double 8. And then the R and the N, third spaced by 4 letters apart, are 32, and the A and the O is another 16. Genius. So bookend, 16, center, 16, RN, 32, AO, 16, grand total, 80 perfectly in 8 letters. And the word tenant equals 74, equals Jesus, equals Messiah, equals gospel. So, lest you think that the tenant is any less than the landlord, guess again. Tenant equals Jesus, equals Messiah. As in, every single tenant that you've ever had and ever will have should be treated like Jesus. Jesus himself was a tenant in a stable, in a manger, when he was born. He was not a landlord even once in his life. Notice also that the word tenant is bookended with 2 20s. T equals 20, 2 20s equals 40. So just like landlord was bookended with LD equals 16, double 8, tenant is bookended with 2 T's, 20 plus 20 equals 40. Genius. And tenant is spelled in 6 letters. Jesus equals 888 is spelled in 6 letters in Greek. The 6 days of creation are 6 in number. Jesus equals 888 divides by 6 perfectly. 6 exists for the glory of Jesus equals 888. 6 is an exceedingly glorious number. It is a pair of 3's. And if you look at this word tenant, you will find the pair of 3's. In the word tenant, we have a pair of 3's. 2 T's, that's one pair. 2 N's, that's the second pair. And then the EA, the 2 vowels, are the final pair. So in review, Jesus equals 888, spelled in Greek, is spelled in 6 letters that are a pair of 3's. Here in this word tenant, same thing, pair of 3's. The Greek word cosmos, which describes everything in creation, is spelled the exact same way, a pair of 3's. In fact, the fourth letter, or the third letter and the 6th letter are the same letter, and the 2nd letter and the 5th letter are the same letter. It's just the K and the M, the 1st and the 4th letter, that are the final third pair, which are different. So, Jesus equals 888 is in 6 letters, a pair of 3's. Cosmos, summarizing everything in the universe, is in 6 letters, a pair of 3's. Tenant is in 6 letters, a pair of 3's, and it adds perfectly to 74 equals Jesus equals Messiah in English now. Jesus equals 74, Messiah equals 74, Gospel equals 74, Cross equals 74. So, how are you to treat every single tenant on planet Earth? As if you were treating Jesus. Period. Amen. It's as if the King of Kings was living in your residence. That is how you are to treat your tenants. Now a final word about the glory of this number 74. It is one of the 16 factors of Jesus equals 888, and it is specifically the 12th prime doubled. And Jesus equals 888 is 12 times the 12th prime doubled. So it is one of the 16 factors of Jesus equals 888. So now we're going to talk about one of my favorite words and one of the most important things in the entire story of God, and that is light. The word light in English. Well, God only has one chance to make this word light be spelled the way that it is all over the universe in the most prolific of all languages, the dominant of all languages, English. So why are we staring at these 5 letters the way that they are? Very simple. For the mathematical glory of Jesus equals 888. So first of all, the word light adds perfectly to 56, which is a 7-fold set of 8s. 8 times 7. 7 is the number of a set of like things. Here we have 7 times 8. 8. Now, the letters. It is bookended with L and T, which make 32. And then the I and the G, side by side, make 16, a double of 8. And then the H is 8 all by itself. So in the highest way possible, this thing is knit together like a perfect package for Jesus equals 888. Literally, the center 3 letters make 24, triple 8. And then the 2 bookend letters make 32, a quadruple of 8, to bring the perfect grand total to 7 8s exactly. So every single place where this word light is written documented, or spoken in English all over the world, it brings mathematical glory to Jesus equals 8 at 8. Now, the further detail that it's accomplished in exactly 5 letters. This is a level 2 detail, but very simple. 5 is itself the third prime. This is the law of prime, very simple. 5 is the third prime. It glorifies the number 3. And so simultaneously in this word light, we have the number 8 glorified exceedingly and the number 3 glorified to the glory of Jesus equals 8 at 8. But look at the glory of the letters light and just think that this is the most important thing to your functioning and to the entire world is the existence of light. Light equals 7-fold set of 8s, and the letters are bookended 32, and the center is 24 888 with a 16 and an 8. It couldn't be any stronger knit together in one little package. Amen. Okay, now we're going to do a fun one. Bus stop equals 112 and speed limit equals 112. That's every single bus stop and speed limit that exists on planet Earth. Jesus equals 8 at 8 takes the glory for every single bus stop and every single speed limit all over this world. There are probably more bus stop signs and speed limit signs than just about every other road sign other than Mr. 8-sided stop sign. So why has God ordained all of these signs to say what they say? For the mathematical glory of his son Jesus. That is the truth. So every single bus stop equals 112, 3-digit all-factor 8 number, divides by 8 perfectly, and every single speed limit equals the exact same number. The exact same number. I ask you, what are the odds that bus stop and speed limit add perfectly to 112, both of them? And 112 is a 3-digit all-factor 8 number, factors of 8 in increasing order, and it is furthermore a 7-fold set of 8s doubled for utmost emphasis on Mr. 8. Everything is by divine ordinance for the mathematical glory of Jesus equals 8 at 8. So every single bus stop in this world exists for the glory of Jesus. And every single speed limit sign in this world exists for the glory of Jesus. And amazingly, they both have the exact same number. Now, the largest publisher in the world is PEARSON. Well, why are they the largest publisher in the world? Because PEARSON adds to 88 exactly. And that begins with P equals 16 888, and then ear, which is 24 888, and then son, which is 48 888 888. So, in every way, they've got a total home run on the number. God is pleased, blesses the entire organization, and to this day, they are the largest book publisher in the world in the story of God. Why? Because their name is the best name for the mathematical glory of Jesus equals 8 at 8 to take the glory for everything in all of history. That's why. So that's why PEARSON is the #1 publishing company on planet Earth. Before millions of angels and all the heavenly host watching the story of God play out, PEARSON is the #1 publishing company on earth for the mathematical glory of Jesus equals 8 at 8. And then appreciate the letters once you see the grand total. It starts with P, that's huge, 88. Then it goes ear, which is 24, 888. Then it goes son, which is a double of that, 2 24s, 888, 888. And so you have 8 at 16 at the beginning, plus 72 for the rest, for a perfect total of 88, bang on the nose. God is completely pleased and has commanded his blessing over the entire PEARSON company. And that is what you have to understand. When God commands his blessing upon a company, it literally controls all the things that are going on within it, including the people. Because this story is not about you, and it's not about any small group of people. It's about God and Jesus working all their pleasure in all the earth before millions of angels and all watching hosts for their own pleasure and glory. And the way that God has chosen to do this, we see God using numbers to make sure that Jesus takes the maximum glory for everything in all of history. So, PEARSON, the world's #1 publishing company. I recommend you look them up on Wikipedia, read all about them, how big they are, how many employees they have, and so you can get a sense of how important this whole name thing is in the story of God's Son, Jesus. Amen. And folks, not only is Pearson the largest book publisher in the world, but they are the largest education company in the world. These are the folks that publish all the things related to educational assessment, school management, higher education, the majority of books. And by the way, their headquarters is located at 80 Strand. That's the address, folks, of Pearson, the largest book publisher on earth. They are located at 80 Strand in London, UK. They are British. They were founded in 1844. That's older than any single person on planet Earth. Why? Because this story is not about you, and it's not about Mr. Mortal Man next to you. It's about Jesus Christ, who lives and reigns over the whole thing, generation by generation. So the fact that Pearson equals 88 today, and it has existed since the year 1844, what is that year a reference to? That year is a reference to who, class? Jesus Christ. 1844 is an all-fact rate number, and the headquarters of this company is located at 80. That's their numeric address, is 80. Oh, and by the way, the street's name is Strand. That's just basically a secondary detail. Pearson, the largest education company on earth, as in what these are the guys that publish the books that your children are reading in schools. So if they are not publishing books that glorify Jesus, equals 8 at 8, and not proclaiming the gospel, then this needs to change.